Well done, gentlemen.
Thank you. Well done.
We have first of all, let me just say that we added an extra 100 chairs, and I'm so glad that we did that. We've got a lot of VIPs with us today, with our city council members. We also have with us today the mayor of Freising, Germany. He is the Oberbürgermeister of Freising, Oberbürgermeister Eschenbacher. We're happy that you and your wife are with us. And we have many, thank you so much. Thank you for coming. We've got a big convention in town, the Order of the Eastern Star is with us, and they've been with us. The JFK sculpture that we dedicate today was commissioned over a decade ago. This was in response to the demolition of Fort Worth's JFK Theater, which was leveled to make room for the convention center's southern expansion. But a host of things, including 9/11, delayed this project. We're fortunate that Houston artist Lawrence Ludke kept the 8-foot clay model safe for us in his studio. Ludke was a fellow of the National Sculpture Society and a corresponding member of the Royal Academy of British Sculptors. His work can be seen at the Texas State Capitol, at the Pentagon, the U.S. Air Force Academy, the CIA headquarters in Langley, Virginia, the National Battlefield Park at Gettysburg, and in collections worldwide, and now here in Fort Worth. This was the last of Larry's historic scale sculptures to be cast, and he was so happy to know that the sculpture, which had been looking over his shoulder in his studio for 10 years, was going to take its rightful place in Fort Worth. Larry passed away before the sculpture was cast at the Shadoni Foundry, but I think he'd be happy to see how we presented his work here in this tribute. Erica Ludke, where are you? Fort Worth initiatives enthusiastically embraced it. Projects like this are impossible without the hard work of a lot of people and our past chairs. Let's give this team a round of applause for their fine work. I'm going to send that to my mother. There have been a lot of partners and supporters along the way. The JFK Tribute Steering Committee, the 6th Floor Museum in Danny Laura, our finance director, Todd Hosoffel, our pit director, Becky Bethel and Carol Robinson, who are really the taskmasters in the office, Nasser Hagagat, our research director, and a special thanks to Melissa Kanur, our tireless project director for the JFK Tribute. Please show them how much we appreciate their hard work. When this project began,
I don't know, but I've written about her because she and 4 others started a movement right after the president's death to have this. The city council didn't go along with that. Not surprising for the city councils of those days. She didn't start right on time, didn't it? I am very proud. So I don't want to take time. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. And let me introduce a person I certainly admire. And I admire
here in Fort Worth and celebrate this tribute. It's quite an honor to be here. And yes, Bob Ray's right. We do jitterbug at City Hall from time to time. Thank you to my fellow council members who are here and our other officials. It's great to see Fort Worth and the county so well represented. This is a special tribute to the citizens of Fort Worth, and it's all about the cooperation between the city, the county, downtown Fort Worth, and our philanthropic partners who make so very much of what we take for granted as the quality of life in Fort Worth. It's those partners who really bring that to us. It's important to also recognize the city's Parks and Recs Department and our Parks Board. Sheila Hill is here also. We thank you for your service, Richard and Sandra. But it's important that the city have great public spaces where they can gather, spaces to come together, to celebrate the past, and to think about our future. It's important also that we have a place that touches your heart, that links us to that important part of our past, but more importantly, that teaches our children about what can be and what will be in Fort Worth. And indeed, this tribute is one of those places that will live forever. It will become a lasting landmark for the city of Fort Worth. It honors JFK's legacy and is its important connection to our proud city of Fort Worth. In November of '63, hundreds and thousands of people gathered on this very spot to see and hear the president and to see Jackie Kennedy, the original fashionista. Little did they know that the country that we love was about to change. Anyone that was alive at that moment of the tragedy in Dallas remembers exactly where you were. Like Bob Ray, I was here in school at Fort Worth. I was about 2 miles to the west at W.C. Stripling, and just like you, my parents were here that morning at the Hotel Texas, but they were not about to let us skip school to be here. We should have skipped anyway. But I remember vividly where I was. But this isn't about the tragedy of Dallas. This is an important event about the life of the president. That cold, wet morning in November of '63, President Kennedy found hundreds of Fort Worth citizens with open arms and warm and caring hearts to welcome him as he and Jackie exited the Hotel Texas. In the middle of a major space race with the Russians, Kennedy acknowledged that Fort Worth was indeed an important city and played a major role in aviation and in American innovation. His message of optimism delighted and inspired the crowd that had gathered. He would later go on to speak to the Chamber of Commerce and finally to travel in a motorcade up Main Street. The people of Fort Worth lined the streets and drove to get a glimpse. His next stop would be Dallas. And in the aftermath of the tragedy in Dallas, Fort Worth's story was almost forgotten. But not quite. There was a small group of individuals who believed it could still be done to celebrate the life of this president. And what a fitting tribute this is. We would not be here without the generous donors, and we thank each and every one of you, from those who gave $1 to those who gave thousands. You're an important part of this tribute. And a special thank you to Taylor and Shirley Gandy, who put their heart and soul into this project and believed that we could make this happen before the 50th anniversary. They deserve a round of applause. And also to Mayor Mike and Rosie and to the City Council for the support that they put into it. This is not just a memorial. This is a special tribute for a legendary president and a special legendary city. Let's celebrate that today, and let's never forget. It's my pleasure to introduce to you today my good friend and the speaker, indeed, who is Mr. Fort Worth, former Speaker of the House, Jim Wright.
Our memories here in Fort Worth of that joyous morning almost 49 years ago will always be mixed joy and pain. Pain because of the unspeakable tragedy that occurred later that day, but joy because of the pleasure, uplifting humor, and general good spirit that John F. Kennedy imparted to our city. In his speech to the group assembled in the hotel ballroom, John Kennedy didn't ask for votes. He didn't ask for political contributions. He boasted of Fort Worth's ability and history of contributing to the well-being and safety of the United States from the moment of our creation as a city back in 1845 as a cavalry post protecting the growing herds of settlers that trucked here in wagon loads from the ravages of savage Indian attacks and other hazards of the prairie to the present time. His recitation of our history was inspiring to our city. And so let us this morning be inspired not by what has happened in the past, but by what lies ahead in the future. The man whom we honor, whose memory we always want to keep fresh, throughout his life, beginning with his own heroic service in the military of our country in World War II, through until the very last moments of his life on that tragic day, November 22nd, but forever, and may it always be a blessing and an inspiration to those who come. The sculptor who fashioned this magnificent portrait of him chose to depict the president in a moment of thoughtful silence in the midst of one of his speeches. May I simply suggest that those of us privileged today to view this marvelous sculpture and to review in our minds this marvelous history of a great public servant may keep in our minds somewhere those particular words that he spoke in the inaugural speech immediately following his swearing in as president. My fellow Americans, said John F. Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. For that statement, I think he will forever be remembered. And if each of us, in viewing this marvelously put together memory of that day in Fort Worth, simply bear briefly, at least in our minds, those words and that simple thought, and those who have contributed physically and financially to this marvelous presentation and to this day that we all, I hope, will remember, will be more than amply repaid, and our country and our city will be far better for all of it. Thank you.
Yes, I was here, but I'm not going to tell you how old I was because you could figure it out from there. Certain things are better left unsaid. Thank you so much, and Shirley, thank you so much for everything you have done. She's not only much prettier than me, she's a much better speaker as well. So thank you for coming. Everything's been said, I think, that really needs to be said, but I would like to make a special thank you to the donors. This was privately funded. The city of Fort Worth helped, no question. Tarrant County helped, no question. But by and large, the $2 million that was raised, which what it cost to do this tribute was done by the citizens of this community. And when we first started this, it was, you know, it's 49 years ago now. We've been on this for about 4 years now, and I wasn't sure how hard or how easy. I didn't think it was going to be easy, or how hard it was going to be to raise that kind of money to do this project. But I'm here to tell you that almost universally, every time we made a request, it was not only approved and agreed to and granted, it was done so with enthusiasm, and we built some momentum because of the tremendous support that we got financially. Obviously, we couldn't do it without it. We had some major gifts along the way, but we also had many, many gifts, very small, from people, I don't even know who they are, but they sent the money in from $10 to $25 to $100, and they just wanted to be a part of this wonderful tribute. And so it takes both those resources to make this happen. So thank you so much for coming today. I think we're at the point where you might notice, I hope you've noticed, that the bronze itself has been covered. And it is now time to uncover.
Chair Joy Webster will present this gift to the city and people of Fort Worth. Joy? Doc Holliday is a member of DFWI and on our board, and we'd like to present these roses to you for all of your work.
Mayor Price, it is my privilege and pleasure to present to you the JFK Tribute in Fort Worth, and to donate, to the city of Fort Worth this wonderful Lawrence Ludke sculpture, which will be a part of Fort Worth's public art program. And now, let's cut the ribbon.
On behalf of Downtown Fort Worth Initiatives, Inc., and everyone who participated in this, thank you all for coming today.
Hi. Oh, he's the press.
I am. I'm one of them.
This is what my son does out in Las Vegas.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He's television?
No, he does. He works for the Las Vegas Church Review. He does the videos for them.
Cool.
Yeah.
In Las Vegas?
In Las Vegas, yeah.
Well, I go